Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Quentin here, and welcome to tutorial number 45. And in this tutorial we are going to continue talking about how to retrieve data from forms, but in this video we are going to be specifically focusing on checkboxes. Okay, so let me just explain the code that I already have, which basically all the standard HTML5 code, but in my form I've got only a submit button at the moment, and when I click on my submit button all the data is going to be submitted to handler.php. So pretty much the exact same setup as my previous tutorials. And in handler.php I've just got my default template here where all my HTML5 code again, and then just a header that says handling your data, and in this PHP element, that's where we will just display whatever data we handled. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually put in some checkboxes on our page. Okay, because right now our web page is just a submit button. So let's put in some checkboxes. I'm going to ask the user a question. I'm going to say, do you play League of Legends? Because you guys all know that I play it. Do you play League of Legends? And I'm going to place in a break tag over here just so that everything else will appear underneath this. Okay, and then we'll give the answer yes, so the user has the option to tick yes. And let's just put an input element of type is equal to checkbox, and then value is equal to yes, so that the user can tick on this checkbox and we'll send through a value of yes. And then we just need to give this a name as well. So I could name this yes, but I think I'm going to name this checkbox, just so that checkbox 1, just so that it has a different name to the actual value, so you guys will be able to see where I'm using a name and where I'm using a value. Okay, and then I'm going to end that off and place in a break tag. And now I'm actually just going to duplicate this line, because we're also going to give the user the option to click no, that they don't play League of Legends. This must still be a type of checkbox. The value we'll send through is going to be no, and the name we'll give this is checkbox 2. Okay, so now let's go ahead and save this, and when we refresh this in our browser, we've got, do you play League of Legends, yes or no? And actually both of them can be ticked, but let's just assume that they're only going to tick 1. Okay, now let's go ahead and use some PHP to actually handle all of this data that we're going to send through. So in handler.php, you might be thinking after my previous tutorials that, hey, okay, if we're going to grab these values, then let's go ahead and just create a variable over here. So we'll create a variable for yes, and we'll set that equal to $_post yes, or what was that? It was actually checkbox 1. So you might think, okay, well we can store yes in checkbox 1, or the value of checkbox 1 in yes, sorry, and then we could do the same thing for no, except we'll say checkbox 2. But this is actually going to give us a little bit of an error, so let's go ahead and save this and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, let's go ahead and click yes, and when I click submit, now I've got an error over here, undefined index checkbox 2, and you guys know that checkbox 2 is actually our no checkbox. Okay, so let's go back here, and this means that if the user leaves one of these boxes unticked, we're going to get an error. So let's go ahead and click no, and now we get checkbox 1 is undefined. So how do we get around this? Well, we actually have to start using an if statement to kind of check which one of these checkboxes were actually selected. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead now and just delete all of this code, because we're gonna have to use an if statement. So we're gonna check if the user ticked yes or if the user ticked no. Okay, and the way we do that is by using a function that is built into PHP called isSet. Okay, and this function checks if a value is set. So kind of a useful name right there. And we'll say if isSet $_post, and then we'll check for checkbox 1. So if checkbox 1 is ticked, then we know that we've got the value yes sent through. So we'll make a variable called yes, and we'll set that equal to this line over there. Otherwise, so let's make an else statement, and we'll say else if no is checked. So basically if isSet, we can just copy that. So else if, got to put in some brackets here, and then got to put in isSet, and then we can go ahead and, well, I actually overlapped what I copied. Okay, so if isSet checkbox 2, then we know that no is actually checked. Okay, so then we can make a variable called no, and we can set that equal to checkbox 2. So I'm gonna copy and paste again, and I guess all this copy and paste is probably a mess, but here we go. That's my final code. So go ahead and copy that down. This will be the code that works. So let's go ahead here and save. And now we've gone ahead and created the value of yes for when yes was checked, and created a variable called no for whenever no was checked. And you know what, to be honest, I'm probably creating a lot of work for myself, because now if I want to display the variable yes or no, I'm gonna have to check again if yes was set or if no was set. So let's go ahead and actually just cut all of that out. So instead of using my PHP tags up at the top over there, let's paste them in here, and let's just quickly indent all of this. Okay, instead of creating a variable, let's actually just echo this out. So I'm just going to say echo, and that should actually work just like that. So then we'll go echo variable no, and now let's go ahead and save this and click refresh. We'll resend our data. Handling your data, no. So it's probably better if we just check these boxes from here. So let's go ahead and say, do you play League of Legends? Well, I do. Gonna click submit. Then we've sent through our value yes, or let's go ahead and click no. Now we've sent through our value no. Okay, and that is how you guys are gonna have to handle checkboxes. So you'll have to check which one was checked, and then you can go ahead and print it out just like that. Okay, so that's actually all I have for you guys in this video. But as always, don't forget to subscribe. Please feel free to leave a comment, like or share the video. It's really gonna help my channel grow, and I will see you guys next time.